My name is Josh Kuhn. I'm a professor of communication and journalism and the holder of the chair in cross-cultural communication. For the past 20 years, officially, I've been a cultural historian of popular music and popular culture, but my whole life I've been a listener to music, and that has pretty much shaped the way I see the world. The core of my practice is the act of listening, specifically listening to music. Listening to music as a way of listening to the world, listening to music as a way of understanding the self and understanding the self's connection to the world beyond it. I've started doing a lot of performative lectures where I am talking about music and lecturing about music and musical history and musical politics, but doing so on stage with musicians who I'm collaborating with. It's changed the way I think about what musical knowledge is. In 2013, I was approached by the Library Foundation of Los Angeles to come in and take a look at some of the special collections. And the first collection that we looked at was the sheet music collection. Nearly 100,000 pieces of sheet music and songbooks. And I spent about a year with a group of undergraduate and graduate students, and we really tried to understand what's been the role of sheet music and songs in the formation of the identity of Los Angeles. And that resulted in a book called Songs in the Key of Los Angeles. In my books, I tend to focus on music in terms of how it helps us understand questions of racial identity, cultural identity, gender identity, sexual identity, but also music as a way of thinking about community, thinking about social justice and social action. And my current research, the book that I am in the middle of right now, is looking at music's relationship to global migration and refugee issues across the world. One of my large undergraduate classes, Sound Clash, Popular Music and American Culture, known by the kids as COM 307, is a class that really tries to put popular music forward as the dominant way for students to understand cultural change, social change, and intercultural connection throughout the history of the United States. But it also inherently was looking at music's role in getting us to examine the porousness of borders. Music, like food, actually, is one of these few things that we all use to draw boundaries around ourselves on the one hand, which is to say, this is my music, this is my song, this is my jam. And yet at the same time, music is one of the most commonly used tools for connecting beyond boundaries. Music, by its very nature, drifts and seeps and spills out so that music becomes this really useful tool for finding common ground. And music can also, of course, be a kind of cultural passport, kind of knowledge passport. Music is the thing that can teach us about somebody else's culture in a way that a textbook or a documentary might not actually do. Every single day we are listening to songs about somebody else's experience, and they're becoming part of the way we think about who we are, so that the most private thing, listening to music alone, becomes the most social thing, the thing that connects us to other people and allows us to think of new kinds of social formations.